probably going to be recording for the next hour. Okay. Okay. Hello. Welcome. It is another week with lots of stuff. Is my capture is one. Bam. All right. So, trying to stick with the whole schedule thing, get that up and running. Let's get into last week. Last week, everything had melted and it was flooding because we had a fair amount of snow. So let's get into that. Somewhere between last week and this week, I lost the hat I usually wear that has my waterproof bit on it. So I've got to find that within this week. So that's a thing. It's a lot. So it's wild to see the creek at this level where it's just so rarely this high, this raging. I'd like to get it kind of weaving in a different direction so that this isn't so flooded. This little bridge is working out better than I expected. The counterweight going this way is really good. It's helpful in making it stay. So this is kind of like what I was concerned about a little bit, was the hood coming up over the screen here. So it's one of those things where it's gonna be going through. 1 second.
You haven't find? Oh. Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay. Anyway, having this get deepened is going to be a big deal. So, actively promoting Creek to move that way so that this flooding doesn't happen is going to be huge. Possibly even creating a little like active tributary is something that I still want and need to do. So that's more of a project that I should consider doing in this section of time. It sucks working with water when it's so cold though, because of everything, all that goes with it that I've mentioned, just the cold and the nonsense of working in the outdoors when it's wet and rainy and snowy. So coming through here, we've got some trees lost their limbs, but it was hard to focus on that kind of thing when you're so focused on all of the water going through. These two could be deepened a bit. Kind of unfortunate to do, but it's something that should be considered with it overflowing into this whole area through here, which would only happen more with water better moving through here. So and I just realized, like, at this point, I'm going the wrong way. I usually go that way. So I've got to figure out how to get over there. So this giant mess. So I guess having a key like runoff point and like actively guiding it to that would probably have been a better solution there, but for right now, there's my usual bridge. So you can see everything's kind of flooded out. Those are thorn vines, so, you know, that wasn't exactly a great move. But I can at least get over to this section and we can get into some of the stuff that makes this more of a normal trip. Key waypoints. So I'd like to check on this little waterfall because waterfalls. Yeah. Everything just being so murky. Like these waterways exist, but they never run. So seeing them run is always kind of weird. This is some of the storm damage. And I actually worked on that this week, so that's helpful. Still just so breathtaking to see the creek up at its limit, like all the way to the top of the banks here, where you can see the erosion below usually, but usually don't see the actual water in that scenario. Glad I had the forethought to bring stick. Just useful to have a walking stick, especially on slippery days. And I kind of highlight this in the next one. That spot needs help. So kind of a shame I didn't notice it when I had the stick, but there's, infinite amount of sticks out there, so I can always go fix that in the off time. So I was saying before I lost my hat, so I'm a little concerned how this week's video is going to come out, but we'll see. It's wild how much water beats things down, how heavy it is. Just how much rampage an extra foot of water is. Like, in Minecraft, it would be incredibly devastating if the water just rose one block for a lot of different situations, much less like doing some of this kind of stuff. Actually just forming during a rainstorm, making a block of water that runs, especially when like it starts to do the whole infinite water generation thing. So that would be problematic and you'd be underwater very quickly. But probably a good reason to not do that. Really, like, this style of waterfall is super cool. Love the twisting of it. Waterfalls are so neat. Never get over it. And I really should do something about like power generation if I were thinking more actively about the whole sustainable energy situation. Any kind of renewables are helpful, but it's hard to actually put into practice. I'd love to have water wheels and different methods of energy generation, but A, they're expensive, and B, they probably aren't going to work for very well, or the storage of the energy and whatnot. Tricky to do, all that jazz. Same with solar and wind. Like, it'd be great to have a diverse set of green electricity. So, key point, have to do a vault here. So you want your stick to be in a stable location so you can put your weight on it and get a further jump. Or just stabilization as you're walking over something a little bit less stable. So tossing the stick back so it can be retrieved and used next time if need be. Fortunately, this week there was not flooding, so didn't need it. But going through here, there's just a lot of storm damage, and it's going to be a little bit hard to see because of the rain. But you can see a lot of stuff is just down and more more problems than it was before. This being a creek hasn't let up, oddly enough, but that tree being down was more of an issue than expected. So I just kind of noped out in this scenario because it was already cold and wet. So moving on, got our path here. Just picking up sticks and getting them to better piles and out of the path. Good lord. For as much as I fall down on this channel, like, I really am not great at it. I have that intense need to put my hands out. It's, I don't know, something about protecting the face more than getting into a roll kind of situation. Because I think that's the goal, right? Is you want to roll, but too often it's too quick and your instincts are gonna kick in before any kind of action. Like, because if you're thinking about falling, you're basically tumbling. But when you're actually falling, it's happening so fast. It's kind of the point. It's so good. One of these days, I'm gonna spruce up my starting and ending screens with better GIFs like those. Really happy with my BRB screen though. That one turned out very nice. And just kind of cycling back. Everything. Just so much water. And the other issue is it's just not running, so it's not like it's going anywhere, so it can't run out. The raindrops make it really hard, but like this tree is down, that's new. I've got to still work on that, but it's hard because it's so far back with hunting season all still going on. This one's actually up. And yeah, so many interruptions. Oh, that's likely my meds. So that'll be a thing I'll deal with in a moment. Let's just get through here real quick. And or not. Anyway, so yeah, everything's still kind of down in the scenario. Haven't really got to work on a lot of the store damage at this point because everything is so wet and hunting season being so strong. So getting that through there. And yeah, this is all a mess. Yeah, just everything in bad shape because storm. All right, so I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna go on BRB, and we're gonna see what that was about. And I'm back. So you can see the fog. This is unreal. It is not currently raining in this video. However, the fog is so thick and dense, water is condensing on the trees or leaves and branches and things and just falling. You're going to get a little bit better audio quality, but a little bit more screen shake because I'm holding the camera at this point. Because like I said, I lost the headpiece that I was using. So it's going to be a bit of a shorter experience, a little bit more limbed. So that's still quite high. We use the bridge. So I did actually get some work done in the past week. Got out there, dealt with some of the stuff that fell and was in the way of the path. Different things that got knocked over. But it's so much harder to think about this kind of stuff when the creek is at its normal height. Even just the water bringing all these weeds down makes this path so much easier. Because we haven't taken this path in a while, and it's nice to be able to get back in here and get through. So yeah, it was good getting this kind of fixed up. Get to progress. Check on our little waterfall a little bit more directly. It's going good. And yeah. So moving on, you can kind of see like just how much more everything got trampled by the water. So you get a really clear view through everything, which is kind of offset by the fog. So do with that as you will. Still just a lot of stuff that's more sideways than it should be. It's kind of wild going through and just how much of the foliage bends different ways. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This section really should get opened up because it's just damming right there. And it is like flowing through, it's just at a lower rate. But all the same, rather have it flow nicely. Doot, doot, doot. Let's... Yeah. Doot, doot. All right. Yeah, so it was just a spam bot. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, the creek's doing much better. It's nicer to see some different paths here. I actually made a path through that way, which I don't highlight. It's not a big deal. Like being able to get through some different places is helpful. Oh, it wasn't this section, it was the one coming out. But all the same, it's just creating space that's more traversable, being more aware of the stuff that's off kilter, and being able to better utilize my space and have these be more traversable, better for all the creatures, including the humans. So yeah. The fog is so good. It's so hard to like think about just being inside of a cloud. And just having just like how that works, being inside this just ambient water. So yeah, getting a little bit of a different perspective from having this be basically chest cam. Kind of sucks to hold, but you know, whatever. It's at least staying consistent. I still just need to get rid of that one. This is all dammed up. This section is a part I've wanted to work on for a bit, but it's just kind of like doesn't compute to go back this far to do this thing. So Creek's at a point where I can just use my stepping stones, so I don't need the vaults. Glad I have it though, just in case. Been playing a bunch of Minecraft lately, so it's interesting to like have some different perspective on trees and whatnot, and just how I've been using them in real life and how to better use them in the game. But overall, it's just different growing cycle and everything. Though it feels similar at times with how much grows and how much falls. It's always having way too many sticks. Not enough stones to make tools. It really is so much of a different process. Like, starting over from scratch, having nothing, would be such an impossible task. People did it, and I'm still guffawed at how we survived. But we have. I wonder if there's a like better way for people to tap into their persistence hunter roots. Because so many people I know get so tired, myself included. Like, just at what pace were we meant to be moving? Because I guess, like, I can imagine walking for nearly ever, but when it comes to following something, like an animal that actually moves quickly, like, as much as I know it was more of a jog, like, even just like infinitely walking after a deer until it got exhausted seems so wrong. Like, that makes sense, and with enough people, for sure. But, like, the pure stamina to, like, just keep after something like that with water skins, I guess, to help hydrate, or one would imagine, like, using creeks and whatnot for water, but still. It's just so vastly different from where we are today. This was broken. I was going to try to get it to snap, but it's just not having it. So, same with this one. That one did snap actually, but just kind of set it down. We're going to give that a clean off just in case. I'm glad I've made so many changes and so many things are better, but at the same time, it's wild and tricky to upkeep. So, just gotta keep up, keep going. I love this. I'd love to convert my place to a green energy farm. Be probably a lot less maintenance than trying to do food or any kind of crop. Still need to manage this down tree. But again, it's so far back, I don't want to get shot. Anyway, it's been good for my mental health to still be out here and working though. So I'm going to continue. We're going to get it. It's better for me than just locking myself in and trying to refocus. And like I said, there's enough things nearby. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. But we will see. It's hard to get motivation to break ground, I guess. Like making sure that the creek paths work appropriately and are deep enough. But it is a project, and it is something I can do. So we'll get there. It'll work. Yeah, so have to make use of the drought times for sure. Maybe better aligning this drainway because that's a little ambiguous. So it's kind of rough that it's so high over here. Gotta do my best to make sure that everything's draining into its lowest point. Nature and all that jazz. Because this flooding sucks. So maybe at least having this point be low to like bring this through. So yeah, that's the plan, and we'll see about making sure that happens for next week. But it could snow or do any number of things, so we will see. All right then. Well, it's been another week, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/BronwynKenku. If you're on Twitch, watch it over at YouTube/BronwynKenku or YouTube/C, whatever the icon is. And I'm going to go ahead and do the thing here in chat. Bam. So you can grab that. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye.